The Eyes of the Forgotten. In the small, fog-laden town of Eldridge Hollow, the dense woods surrounding the community concealed secrets that had long been buried. Whispers of strange occurrences had begun to swirl, tales of animals acting out of character, and a chilling sense of foreboding spread like wildfire among the townsfolk. But deep in their hearts, they all knew. It was the woods that held the dark truth, the woods that had seen things which shouldn't have been seen. 16-year-old Mia Carson had grown up in Eldridge Hollow, her days spent exploring the shadowy depths of the forest near her home. It was a place of adventure for her and her friends, until the summer when everything changed. That was when they stumbled upon the old, crumbling cabin, half hidden beneath the enormous elm trees, clutching the ground like a long-forgotten memory. Despite the warnings from elders, the cabin lured them like a siren song. Its rotting floorboards beckoned them into its embrace. One fateful evening, as twilight mingled with the rustling leaves, Mia and her friends, Max, Lila, and Jake, decided to explore the eerie, abandoned structure. The air was thick with tension, and their laughter echoed against the warped walls, a sound that felt almost out of place in the suffocating gloom. Dust motes danced in the dying light, but the atmosphere felt wrong, tinged with something they couldn't quite place. Inside, they found remnants of a life long past, old furniture draped in sheets, yellowing newspaper clippings barely legible, and unidentifiable animal bones scattered across the floor. Looking through the brittle pages of a book, Jake's eyes widened as he uncovered the reason behind the decay. It described ancient rituals performed by a cult long forgotten, aimed at binding souls to the earthly remains of animals, possessing their spirits to do the bidding of their sinister masters. Their laughter faded into an uneasy silence. Suddenly, a rustling sound broke the stillness outside, drawing their gaze to the window. A pack of wild dogs loitered at the edge of the woods, their bright eyes glowing in the fading twilight, reflecting an unsettling hunger. The dogs had an otherworldly quality to them, their frames translucent, as if a layer of shadows cloaked their forms. "Let's get out of here," Mia urged, an instinctual dread prickling at the back of her mind. But Lila, emboldened by her curiosity, suggested they get a closer look. They made their way outside, and as they approached the mesmerizing pack, something in the air shifted. The dogs seemed to turn as one, their bodies rigid, heads tilted in eerie unison. "Hello," Max tried to call out gently, reaching out with an open palm. The moment his hand appeared, the dogs lunged forward, eyes ablaze with an incandescent fury. The kids stumbled back, confusion and fear surging through them like ice-cold water. In that instant, just beyond the threshold of the cabin, Mia felt an impossibly cold breath washing over her, striking a deep chill into her bones. She turned to see her friends, fear etched on their faces, but a shadow loomed behind them, an ethereal presence gradually melting from the shadows of the woods. With dread pooling in her stomach, Mia realized what they had unleashed. As the spectral figure coiled around her friends, she heard whispers like rustling leaves, murmuring secrets of vengeance and wrath. The dogs were not just animals, they were vessels, lost souls possessing the forms of once proud creatures, bound now to do the will of a darker master. "Run!" she screamed, fear gripping her heart. But the spectral figure, an amalgamation of hatred and sorrow, had already claimed Lila. Its form danced around her, twisting and coiling into the girl's flesh, and in a horrifying moment, Lila's face twisted into a ghastly expression, her once bright eyes now dark and hollow. Racing through the woods, Mia, Max, and Jake prayed for a way to escape. The pack pursued them, nipping at their heels, now united in their command under the newly possessed Lila, who was chanting in a voice that was both hers and something ancient, something lost. The trio stumbled through brambles and thickets, desperately seeking sanctuary. As they neared the town's edge, a familiar figure appeared, a local old man with deep-set eyes who had always been seen as the town's eccentric. He held an old talisman, once believed to ward off evil. "Get behind me," he shouted, standing firm. "They seek the darkness within you. But there's hope." With an incantation passed down through generations and a flourish of the talisman, a wave of bright light surged forth, meeting the advancing pack. The battle between the light and the darkness echoed in the silent woods, and in that moment, Mia saw the truth. Only unity could save her friends. Grasping Max's and Jake's hands, she willed the light to stand stronger, pouring every ounce of belief into her heart. The light shattered the dark, a flash that sent ripples through the air. Lila's scream rang out, mixing with the barks of the dogs. And then, silence, as the woods seemed to exhale. The pack melted back into shadows, and Lila collapsed onto the ground, her eyes clear again, though filled with horror. From that day on, the tales whispered in Eldridge Hollow changed. The fog became a shroud, holding secrets that defied speech. Mia, Max, Jake, and Lila never returned to the woods, but the eyes of the forgotten would forever watch from the darkness, waiting for their next chance to reclaim what had been lost.